Welcome to the BFF Report. I'm your host, Mike B, aka Phony, and today we're going to talk about The Witcher 2. And I picked this game based off of your guys' choices. I did that with Spiral Knights, remember, and all that. And now there was kind of a three-way tie. It was actually probably like 11 or 15 people, and these are just random responses on my Facebook page. So if you want to have a say in this, go to facebook.com/AKMikeB and click like, and then you can have your say. The next time I decide to go, hey, what game should I play for the next BFF Report? And everyone decides to respond to it. It was Terraria, which was the top one, and then followed by The Witcher 2, really close. And then I believe it was a game called Argo Online, which I actually already downloaded and played a little bit. But then somebody was like, "Hey, I have a copy of The Witcher 2. You want to borrow it and do a BFF report on it?" And I was like, "Sure, it's current. I'll go ahead and knock that out now because Argo is always going to be there, and Terraria is something that will probably have a little bit of a longer lifespan, being that it's a multiplayer game than The Witcher 2. I'm not saying The Witcher 2 is not going to last that long. I'm just saying that Terraria is probably going to be around a little bit longer because it's one of those Minecraft type things. Anyways, let's get started.
The Witcher 2 starts you off with a little prologue to bring you up to speed with the events leading up to present day. I'll try to only spoil the shit out of this part, since it's like 1/10 of the entire game, if not less. Don't worry though, they sprinkled in a little bit of story and a few topless babes make the sacrifice worth it. And no, I'm not talking about this guy. They kick things off with you getting your ass kicked in jail before being let off to an interrogation room where they take every opportunity to show off the motion capture technology. Did they use motion capture technology in this game? Who knows, but they're definitely trying to make a point here over and over again. Now, the way they set up conversations in Witcher 2 is they allow you to actually have some kind of control over the responses that your character makes. Now, it's not like a morality meter or something like that pops up and it says, "Oh, you made a good decision. Ta-da, here's some points. You have a halo over your head now." It's nothing like that. It's mostly like different shades of just badass. But in the prologue, and probably other places, it's also used to trigger interactive story sequences as your responses during the interrogation.
Witcher, are you up?
One thing that's commendable about the game is that it's not trying to cater to the all-audience demographic and jumps balls first into the adult theme. Lots of drinking, lots of profanity, lots of violence, and so much sex that I'm actually kind of worried about this dude's health, man. I mean, this guy must have giant balls on fully functioning catapults, or just some of the many, many epic pieces of scenery that you'll be introduced to during gameplay. The game is actually pretty graphics intensive, and I'm sure a lot of you will be finding yourselves shuffling the graphics sliders around trying to find the perfect balance between frames and visuals. Before we get into all the flashy stuff though, let's go ahead and take a look at the UI real quick. Upper left corner we have the player status, which is the health, the vigor, the toxicity level, and the medallion, which we'll talk about in just a second. Lower left corner we have your active signs you have selected, as well as your like your traps and all that stuff, which I'll demonstrate later on. Upper right corner we have the mini-map and the time indicator and a quest tracker, kind of nice. And in the lower right corner they have a fully functioning combat log. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the behind the scenes stuff. This is your inventory menu. This is where you go and you can actually pick things to sell or to equip or to just delete or do whatever. Now it's not a simple like slot system. It's not like I have 16 bag slots and that's all I can carry. It's a weight system. So if I'm picking a ton of flowers or dandelions or weeds or whatever, I could probably carry like a billion of those things versus carrying a whole bunch of hardware or ore or something. Now this is your journal screen. This allows you to go through and actually track quests, pick which ones you want to go back and read up on, see which ones you completed. Lots of reading here, so if you're into that kind of stuff, there is plenty of stuff to read. There's actually a whole character breakout, so everybody that you've met was all in this log, so lots of words, guys, lots of words. This is the character abilities page, and this is where you go to dump points whenever you gain levels. So you get these talent points, and if you played any MMO or even any RPG, you kind of have a good idea on how this specking system works. It's a way of tailoring your character to your gameplay style. Even Fable 1 had something similar to it, except for you weren't really dumping points per se because you were gaining them by using specific abilities, whereas here, you're just leveling up and putting points into wherever tree you want to go to. And those three trees they have available outside of the training one is the swordsmanship, alchemy, and magic. Unfortunately, I don't have any of them unlocked because I'm still a noob, but I'm sure I'll get there. Turn the page and we have your attributes. This breaks down all of your different stats as well as a huge list of bonuses. Again, have fun reading, guys. Now, as you're running around in the open world, you sometimes have the option of picking things up. You kill somebody, you can loot them. If you find a chest, you can open it up and you can loot that too. Now, the loot system in The Witcher 2 is terrible. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty bad. It's just as bad as trying to find evidence in LA Noire. You have to position your character the right way or whatever. You get used to it after a while, but if you have an MMO background, you're used to systems either being good or great. Very few on the terrible side, whereas The Witcher 2 would be just below good. Borderline chafing. The good news is that they let you loot pretty much anywhere. Like here I am, I just walked into this house. There's nobody in here for me to talk to. I'm just gonna walk in, Oh, what you got here? Let me go and get some of that. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go upstairs. Oh, what's this? Oh, I'm taking your stuff right in front of you. Nobody seems to care. It could be because I'm a Witcher, right? I'm kind of awesome, but I just still find it kind of weird that I can just walk in people's houses and just do something and nobody says shit. Questing The Witcher 2 is extremely dynamic. You just get quests just organically. You're walking around and then you're like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna see what quest I'm on. You look at your quest log, you're like, holy crap, how did I get half of these quests? You have no idea. The reason why is because these things just happen. You go up to somebody and you start talking to them just because you maybe feel like talking to them because it's an RPG and it's what you do. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, they're like, hey, can you help me out with this thing? And you're like, yeah, sure, dude, I'll help you out. And oh my God, I'm on a quest. And that's it. It just all happens so fluid. I wish these types of dynamic questing events happened in actual MMOs. I hear Guild Wars 2 is doing it. Other games have it partially, but nothing quite feels as smooth and dynamic as what I'm experiencing here in this game.
What's going on here?
All right, can we talk about combat yet? Oh, that's right, medallion. Okay, the medallion, you hit it, and it puts out little things like this, and then like it highlights things that you could go and interact with. Okay, that's a medallion. Okay, yes, combat! While we all know that the game focuses on the hack and slash style combat similar to Vindictus or Dynasty Warriors, they also managed to mix in other types of combat and mini games. So for example, a little bit of top-down action, right? This is me running from a dragon, right? Happens all the time. And then we have quick time events, okay? Like when you're brawling with somebody, you use, hit this button, okay, hit this button. Otherwise, you lose, okay? And then there's like mouse games. So here, I am arm wrestling a dude, okay? Keep my mouse centered right here, and then booyah! Check me out. And they do this all pretty fluid-like, and it helps break up just kind of monotony of just running around and slashing everything all day. As I mentioned earlier, the primary combat style that occurs in the game is the hack and slash format, and to compare it again to other titles of a similar vein, I would have to say that it doesn't quite have the tightest gameplay in the world. But it's nothing that pisses me off enough to make my TV eat another controller. It's just not quite as tight as, say, Vindictus or Fable. Now, while you're toggling between various combinations of left click, right click, you have the option of utilizing some of your various magic powers or signs. Each sign has a different effect, like, say, stunning an enemy, setting them on fire, incapacitating them. You even have a personal barrier that lets you temporarily mitigate damage. On top of that, you also have traps, potions, ranged weapons, etc. And since I didn't have time to play with buffs or potions or the ranged items, I'll just demonstrate a trap or two here. Alright, let's see. Go and set a trap. Okay, good. Okay, and then a couple guys are there by the fire. I'm gonna go ahead and get a little aggro range going. Alright. Oh, these guys are so mad. Let's go, dude. Right. Okay, I'm right here. Okay, let's go. Yeah. One more step, dude. One more step. Oh my God. What the? Okay. That did nothing. Okay, but this guy's mad. This guy's got it. Okay, he's coming. And yeah, wow. I set myself on fire. That's awesome. As you can see, the AI is a little bit funky, right? Like, they chase you for like 15 feet, and then they turn around and go back to camp. Maybe they're just lazy or something. But I think we can kind of look past that, especially given the fact that the majority of the game is definitely above par.
Sire, you said we were out of range.
That was a ballista, Excellency. It has one flaw. It simply cannot hit the same spot twice.
I had no idea Your Grace was a learned military engineer.
I'm not. I gave the Baroness those ballistae 2 years ago for her birthday.
What do you guys think about The Witcher 2 if you guys have played it? And also, if I keep playing it, will I see more boobies? Let me know in the comments below or at AKAMikeB on Twitter, Facebook.com/AKAMikeB, and I'll see you guys next week. See ya!